American football in Finland.
All right, the voice in your ears and the face on your screen. I'm Perfect Pervis, and this is American Football in Finland. Today, I'm joined by my co-host, Coach Q. What up, Q?
Hey, we here, baby. We back already.
Yeah, as you can see, we showed up on a Monday because
Yeah.
I was out of town all weekend. I was traveling. I was in Germany for the weekend, and I tried to make it back, but I couldn't. So it is what it is. The AFF podcast is available everywhere you listen to your podcast, and you can see us visually here on YouTube. Wherever you listen to watch, be sure to subscribe, follow, and like us. Anyone who listens but doesn't hit that button, we know you're a hater, but that's cool. On with the show, anyways. All right, first down, we get a chance to start fresh, discuss whatever is on our minds. Coach Q, what's going on with you?
Oh man, not much, man. It was a long weekend full of football. Tuned in to some ELF stuff. Uh, Watched a little bit of some clips from the women's Trojans game. Uh, that was
They
pretty
lost,
dope.
right?
Yeah.
Didn't the Wolverines beat them?
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy. I didn't think that was going to
yeah,
happen this year. So
yeah.
that's interesting.
So yeah, just pretty much just chilled out, man. Watched some games, and that was it.
So for my first down, I want to know: do you keep up with the basketball gossip? I don't follow basketball, but social media and basketball go well to each other. And apparently, there was a conspiracy theory about Cooper Flag going to the Mavs, and then there's like a meme about the guy Ace Bailey not wanting to
Oh
be
yeah,
drafted by the Utah Jazz.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? I just want to talk about it. It's so
Hey,
funny to me.
it's you know what, this new age player empowerment. I like it until a certain point. I know he had like three teams that he didn't want to play for, and one of the teams that he did want to play for drafted him anyway. So
Mm.
I think it's different now. Obviously, from when we was in college, I think the ultimate goal was to just go to the professional level and make whatever team draft you. Show them that like, hey, appreciate you drafting me. I'm gonna give you all I got. But it's like now a lot of these kids want to go into winning situations and not
Mm.
really trying to build teams and not have teams built around them. So yeah, it's a little different now, man. The players got a little more power, or at least they feel like they do. So that situation was kind of crazy. The Cooper Flag, uh,
That,
that
that's
that
There's
that's
no reason Cooper Flag should be playing with Kyrie Irving and
yeah. But that's
eyebrows
the
in his first
lottery.
year.
That's the
In his
lottery. That's
first
it's
year.
always it's all like for them to trade Luca. It seems like they already kind of. It feels like all right. They knew they was gonna get the first pick, but I'm
That's what I'm
sure
saying.
that like the lottery is a lottery though. So like it's literally no way that they could guarantee that Dallas was gonna get that pick. It just happened for them. So uh, it made the
I heard it was
trade look like
conspiracy theory. I heard a
yeah,
conspiracy
yeah,
theory. Like how
yeah.
how in like the 80s or 90s, the 80s I think it was, how Magic Johnson got onto the Lakers and then they ended up getting James Worthy like right
That's where
afterwards. It was like that's
yeah,
not like you're not supposed to be able to get both of them that high in the draft, but it did. But in today's NBA, you don't expect a lottery pick team to be have that good of a roster going into it
yeah.
the way that they did it.
Playoff
Especially
teams, they usually don't get those picks. So that's another
weren't they
thing
like
too.
in the conference finals last year, the year before or
Yeah,
something?
with Kyrie, yeah, the year before
Yeah,
they
Kyrie and
were.
Luca
Yeah,
had them in like the conference finals, and what 1 or 2 years later, that's crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, that's first down. I just want to talk about it a little bit because it was interesting. All right, let's talk about key player performances from this weekend. Stats aside, just guys who stood out. I didn't even do from this weekend because if you watched any of the games, what was it? 3 blowouts and one
Yeah,
decent game that eventually was a 2 or 3 score game, anyways.
yeah.
So I guess we're just gonna be naming names, name names. But did you have any one sticker guys, 1-star performances you want to
One
throw out
sticker. Number 44 for the Crocs. You know, the safety. I've been talking about him for like a year
Atu,
or two
yeah,
now. I think his last name is like Tuoco or something like that.
Atu
He
Tuoko.
was. He made a lot of open field tackles. In on defense, the Crocs defense looked a lot better this game. They looked a lot more solid than the first game that we seen them play. Um, who else they had? Number 20. Uh, he was also a safety, I believe. Maybe it's
Oxley, Oxley
Sarah.
Siranayan.
79, yeah.
Yeah,
He got an interception. He was real active back there too. Um, so I guess they can say he is one sticker. Who else? I gave Isaac Marshall one sticker because he, got in the end zone again. Nicholas Quick, uh, he got in the
Quika.
end
Yeah,
zone. Yeah. Those are my one. I mean, just nod off the head. I don't even want to go into uh Robitaille and those guys like it was just too easy of a game for the
yeah.
Butchers. So
You don't
I
get
didn't
those
really want
stickers
to.
for them easy ones.
Yeah. It's like I can't get y'all stickers for that, even though y'all did what y'all supposed to do. But just to name a few, those are some guys that I thought had a pretty nice impact on the game. Nothing like overly uh just balling, but at the same time they were active and they made plays for their team. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have any stickers. Like I said, I didn't take notes this time, so I didn't really like keep up with anybody that stood out. But the games went so quickly. Like you said, like most of the guys that I noticed, you actually just named them. I was gonna name the 2 safeties. I was gonna name Sarah and then Quika. That was the other guy I was gonna name, and Isaac Marshall. 2 stickers, slightly better, I guess. Anybody? Or we jump to
Uh
3 sticker and stand
Three
out, or
stickers.
what are you thinking?
Let's go to 3 stickers because everybody
Yeah.
else that I got, I think pretty much is 3 stickers guys.
Okay.
Um, and I'll start with the running back. I don't know if his name is Baker or Bakar.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's Casper though, right? I think it's Casper
yeah,
Bakar.
Bakar,
I-
Baker. We sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but had a big game on the ground. Big game on the ground. I mean, he was just all over the place. Every time he touched the ball, nobody was like literally right there. So whenever he got that speed up, it was over with pretty much. And that was a big part of the Steelers' win was him being able to get a lot of yak in his game. So I gave him a 3 sticker for that one. Um, who else I got 3 sticker for? Oh, well, the running back for the Crocs. He had a good game. He had a great game on the ground too.
It's Sip. Deontay Sip.
Is Sip? Oh, I thought his last name was
Yeah,
Webb.
it's Sip. Well, it's Sip. I know that number 16, right?
Not is he 16? Yeah.
Is
Okay. I
it?
don't know why I thought his
It's
last name was Webb for some reason. I thought it was like
maybe
Demetrius Webb or something.
I feel like I saw a Web somewhere on somebody's jersey also. So
Yeah.
I feel like
But
maybe, but I know that their running back is Deontay Sip, the number
okay, well
16 guy.
Sip. I don't know why I'm saying Webb, Deontay either way balled out, had a great
Yeah.
game. Broke a big run when they needed it to.
He had
He
like
was
a
very impressive.
97 yarder. He had a
Yeah,
97-yard
yeah.
return. That's crazy.
Red zones look real strong in the red zone too. So um, I gave him a 3 star, and then last but not least, Charles O'Connell.
Oh
Um,
boy. Oh boy. And that
man,
was
you talking about causing some havoc, man. Charles O'Connell, and what I like what they did, they like moved him to like middle backer to show, like
yeah, I
a
saw him
certain
in
front.
coverage a couple times. I was like,
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like that. It showed how versatile he could be, and they actually changed up their defense. And I'm sure it messed up the blocking scheme because before the game, I'm sure they was like focused on him. So anytime that he went back to middle backer, he dropped in coverage or he had the option of blitzing. So, but I mean, getting the sacks, the tackles for loss, And did I say Coleman, number 2? The D lineman for the Crocs, too? Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yes,
yeah, Coleman could have been somewhere in that 2-sticker range, too. But he had a lot. He made some plays getting off the blocks. Great with his hands, catching tackles for loss. So the Crocs looked real solid on defense against the Royals, and they did. I mean, they stunned that Royals running game. So yeah, those guys. I think that's all I had for the 3 stars. And the Butchers' whole offense could have got a 3-star too. So I ain't gonna take that from him.
yeah,
Santu Vahamaki for the Roosters. I gotta shout him out because he's one of my favorite receivers though. But had a good game. Made a lot of plays for the Roosters too. Another blowout for them. But
that
just some
play
standout.
action,
Yeah,
rollout thing they did a lot of times. He's that first guy, and he was able to get some
yeah,
yak off of it. Looked really good.
yeah. So that was like the guys that stood out to me this week.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Win or loss from last week's games. Let's explain if the team actually won or lost the games. Should be pretty quick. Should not take very long, but we're gonna do it anyways. Helsinki Wolverines versus the Porvoo Butchers. Did the Wolverines lose or the Butchers win? How do you feel about it?
Man, Butchers won, man. It's just too much, just unmatched game. Butchers are way too ahead of everybody at this point. And sorry for the Wolverines. They looked real sloppy. Had a lot of stuff going on, obviously. Um, but I think they're just trying to find something, find a way to get some. They looking like just no effort, though.
Yeah.
For as a whole team, it's just no effort. I think they lost the game as soon as they went on as soon as they padded up and went on the field. I feel like they lost the game. The Butchers
Hmm.
just came out, they just was way faster. They executed way better. So I don't even want to try to even debate whether or not they won or lost. The
Yeah.
Butchers won it hands down.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I agree 100%. I just want to throw in there. I feel like the way that you said it, that's that one issue that just being transparent that me and you have with the culture of football in Finland is we've seen this for years, going on like 10 years now, where sometimes like the Finnish culture of American football is like, if we're not supposed to win and we didn't think we were gonna win, then we just go through the motions. And that's kind of how it looked like the Wolverines did. It's like some of these games I know, and I've heard the guys be like, y'all think we're not gonna win, but we believe we're gonna win going into the game. And
yeah,
you'll see it on the field. This is one of those games where if I go and talk to somebody from the Wolverines and say y'all gonna lose, they're like, yeah, we might lose, but and I'm like that you're like that's worse. We might
yeah.
lose, but like, and that's kind of what it looked like. They're like, we're just gonna try to get through this the best we can. And again, the Wolverines is one of those teams I think this year that we've said before that like the Royals are like the barometer, like the playoffs, but the Wolverines have shown like they could get it if they really like put their mind to it. But this is one of those games where you feel like they're like they don't even want to attempt to prove that they deserve to be on the same field with this team. So it's kind of sad to watch. And then with all the off the field stuff that happened afterwards, no one's even talking about the actual game that they played.
Yeah.
I just want to throw this out there with the Wolverines. They need to get into the film room after this game and just look at themselves in the mirror. Like, is this how you want to be seen by the league? Because that's what it looks like. It looks like you just don't want to be taken seriously. Because I believe the Butchers are as good as they are, but at the same time, I don't know how anybody else was raised, but I was told they put on their pants one leg at a time, just like you. They got to wipe
Mm-hmm.
their ass after they shit too. So that ain't just them being alive shouldn't be enough for them to beat you the way that they did. But won't pour too much gas on the fire for the Wolverines. Let's go to the next game. Helsinki Roosters versus Tampa the Saints. And this one was unexpected in my opinion. So who do you feel won or lost? The way it went was unexpected for me. But what are your thoughts on it?
I kind of expected the Roosters to do this. They had a nice balanced day. nice balanced day of
Mhm.
run and pass. And I think anytime they have success in both of those, they win games. And
Yeah.
I think they needed this for a confidence booster because they haven't been playing that great. And the Saints just so happened, hey, you got the big brother, and the big brother is like was ready to play this week. The Saints still look the same. They don't look like they got any better. Jesse's still running for his life. Not really much help on the offensive side of the ball. So it was just one of those games where you just kind of. I rarely fall asleep during games, but I fell asleep during this game. And I
Nodded off a little
rarely
bit.
fall asleep, but I definitely fell asleep because I was just like, it's not even. It's like the Saints are just kind of like going through the motions too. They just kind of, I mean, maybe a longer trip for them. I don't know, but I just expected them to play. I thought they was going to play better all year than what they're showing, but
Mhm.
it is what it is. The Roosters won it hands down. Um, they had a lot of their guys partnering, running back. He had a pretty good day on the ground, and Ambrose had a pretty decent game too. Like it was expected, should I say? For me,
Yeah.
it was expected.
Yeah. I think I agree with you. Roosters definitely won. Like you said, they played what I expected to see from them. I expected them to play well, get things done, but I did not expect the Saints to make no changes. Like that's
Yeah.
what it looked like. It didn't look like they were trying anything different, knowing that they've had no success so far. Like that's what was crazy to me. Similar to what we said about the Wolverines. I, I don't mind that you might not be the better team, but it's a little frustrating when you go out there and you don't show up, and you can fall asleep watching the game because you just don't show up. And
Right.
especially for a team that it's not hard. We know their issues. Your defense isn't as strong as most other defenses, so you need more effort. They didn't show more effort. Your offense, your O line can't block. You need other ways to manufacture, success with the ball moving it downfield. They didn't try anything different. It's like you got very obvious issues and you're not addressing them. And for me, my question is: so what we doing here? Well, why are we out here? And I feel bad because I got to put it on record. I'm jumping off the Saints bus that we was on before the season because I assumed that they would have some hustle and some heart in them, and I haven't seen that. And for that,
Mhm.
I got to jump off the bus. They probably won't get any more picks from me saying that they're gonna win a game or even be close. But I do hope that they turn the corner at some point. So moving to the next game, another blowout. Kuopio Steelers versus East City Giants. Who won or lost this one for you?
Steelers won. I want to say ECG lost. I think the Steelers are a tier better than ECG.
Mhm.
They got more playmakers, a lot more solid on offense and defensive side of the ball. And ECG, they're more consistent. Even on special team, they scored on special team on the punt block. So, Mattingly, I think now that they've had a few games under their belt, you can kind of see Corpio will probably get better. Honestly, they'll probably get
Mhm.
better. I don't think they've shown really a lot of what they can do. But in this game, they took charge early, and then it was just a downhill game from after that. So um, can't fault them for that. This game wasn't what I thought ECG. I thought ECG was probably gonna give a better effort, but once you kind of get down real quick, it's kind of hard for
Mhm.
like teams like them to get back up there. What I do want to say is Ruben's team definitely needs the ball in his hand a lot more. Um, some kind
Feed
of way
that
they got to get.
man.
Yeah, yeah, he's the guy. Some kind of way they got to get Jabari involved offensively. Some kind of way. I don't know if you put him at running back and let him run some zone read. I don't know, or you put him at
I,
quarterback and let him run the zone read. You got to get Jabari the ball in some kind of way if you want to have a chance. I think if they would have had a game plan to some kind of way get Jabari and Rubenstein the ball, maybe they have a little more offensive production this game. But with no offensive production, your defense is going to get tired, and then that caused Corpio to have that confidence and make the plays they had. So
yeah,
still a good win for them.
I agree with you. But as you were talking, I kind of want to talk about this East City Giants offense a little bit, and just like you said, if they wanted to get the ball to their playmakers a little bit more, um, I'm trying to look back in the game in my mind, but it went quick for me. Like it just seemed like Steelers walked it down. It was over. So I feel like I didn't get to see enough from the offense, but they have the makings of a team that can do a run play action style offense. The
Mm.
R2 Blumquist at running back, he can tote the pill. Like you can put a tight end on the field and have him toting the pill. And I think contrary to whatever they believe about Jabari being like an outside receiver, he should be more like a inside tight end slot, like how the Roosters use Santu Vekamaki in their win. I think if ECG had did that, they probably would have been able to move the ball a little bit better, getting Jabari the ball in the flat where he can, make a linebacker have to tackle all 6'3", 250 that he is and get you 4 or 5 yards a clip based on, a defensive linebacking core having to react to the run first and then get out to him and give him time to start running. At the receiver spot, he's big. That's about it. I was just trying not to be too critical about it, is that he's not going to blow by any DBs in this league. Like he doesn't have that type of speed. And I was watching the game, even when he catches the ball, yeah, he can get you a couple more yards based on him being strong, but he's not breaking tackles after the catch. Like that's not going to be the way he is. But someone like Daniel Rubenstein, that kid's a star. Like you saw it when he gets the ball, like he can make something happen every time you get the ball. You got to be able to get him the ball. And that's hard to do if he's the only option you have and you're not forcing the team to look other places. And that's just what they ran into against the Steelers, is the Steelers could stop their run and guard him. And when they play a team that can't do both, they'll have more success. And we've seen that already, that they've had success when they were able to spread the ball out. So I think that going from this game, like you said, the Steelers obviously won the game. They're a better team. They're getting better. Like you could see it even when they're playing like a team that you don't think is on the same tier as them, like ECG. You can still see that, okay, they're working on some stuff. Like using Isaac Marshall, I said it last week, like that can't be your best player, but they could just say, I'm full of shit, and they're going to make that their best player. Because it looks like having him be at running back and then go to slot receiver is what works for them. And they can get him the ball, and he can maneuver from both positions easily and help them move the ball down the field. Because I think him, when he goes to slot, the team looks at him, and that made things a little bit easier for Quicka. They had him playing in the slot at times too. And there was a few passes where Noah Choate was open, just him and the quarterback weren't connecting. There was a couple balls that were too high for him. There was one that hit his hands. So he's still in the mix as well. Just they got to work on that connection. Again, like you said, they're getting better. And it's kind of scary because I know they lost to the Roosters, but I mean, they're getting better. So I can't wait to see them play some of the top tier teams later. Same thing with the Butchers. Like they lost to the Butchers and the Roosters early in the season. If they're going to play the Butchers again, though, right? They're in the same division, I think.
Mm.
I'm looking forward to seeing them play against the Butchers after they've matured as a team, which takes us to the last game, win or loss. City Oak Crocodiles versus Wassel Royals. Who won or lost this one for you?
I want to say the Crocs won this game, fair and square. Offensively, they made more plays, obviously, in the running game. A few pass plays here and there, but mostly the running game is what got it for them. But the defense of the Crocs just played a great game. They played a great game. They had they forced turnovers. The effort that they had, allowed them to make a lot of plays. And the way that defense changed up the scheme, moved guys around. The safeties could play aggressive, and that's one thing. You can play aggressive when you're not afraid of the other team throwing deep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's something the safeties can do. They can read and don't really have to backpedal. They can just react to the quarterback in a second or two and make plays, and that's what they did. The Crocs just look a lot better than, like I said, than what we seen in their first game. I think the Crocs. I know I picked them. I picked them to be like last or whatever, but that was
Yeah.
obviously before I
I think
seen
you
them.
switched them to like 6 before when we
Yeah,
did the show.
yeah. So it was it was a good win for the Crocs. They played at home. They always play good at home for the most part. But their defensive line, linebackers, and safeties, corners, everybody had a pretty good game. So anytime you get the other team to turn the ball over and you're capitalizing on them, even the Crocs quarterback, he played a pretty decent game and he had a score in the running game. I think he scored twice or something. So
Yeah.
it was a good overall win for the Crocs. On the Royal side, offense was stunned.
Talk about it.
Offense was stunned.
Talk about it.
I think they waited a little too long to put Alpha on offense. I think he should have came on offense a lot sooner than the fourth quarter. But if the running game's not working for the Royals, then they don't really have a chance. And the Crocs did a real good job of stunning their running game. So Crocs, hands down, won the game easily.
Yeah. I think it's very interesting is that I know last week we're talking Royals are undefeated, and the strategy is, as always, and will always be my issue with them going into the season. This was the perfect example of that strategy not working. And the thing is, I think that's the chance you take. Is you're gonna have games like when you played against the Roosters where you didn't necessarily play great or good, and then even in this game, you still only gave up 21 points, but Alpha didn't have 2 kickoff returns. Like that's the difference. Is there was no crazy plays to make up for the fact that your offense is stagnant. I didn't want to say a negative word, so I said stagnant. But again, I'm gonna keep saying this every week too. So your quarterback gonna give us an interception every game. Cool.
Oh yeah.
So how many games we're playing? We're playing 10 games. He's giving you at least 10 interceptions this season. Right now, he's at like 8 interceptions in 4 games. And if you do turnovers, he also fumbled the ball when he was running it. He's done that 2 or 3 more times this year. The kid has 10 to 12 turnovers in 4 games. And for me personally, if I'm on a team that we know every possession offensively counts because we're not guaranteed to score, why would we consistently give the other team the ball more often based on the fact that you think your defense is good enough to hold up? Because even them winning those first 3 games, their defense had to play exceptional for them to keep the other team down. And in this game, their defense didn't play bad. I'm sorry, 21 points, that's not bad defense. But your offense is so stagnant, as I said, that
one-dimensional.
The other team had a lot of opportunities to get to those 21 points, and they still only got 21 points. But the only point you have is a safety based on the fact that the defense held them on that side of the field, and they just walked out the back of the end zone. Again, the defense came up with those 2 points. The offense still scored no points. And that's how that's how you're doing it this season. So you're going to have games like this. That's how I feel. I think that the Royals defense played good enough to win. The offense didn't play good enough to win. And the other team capitalized just enough. And now that's what you're looking at. And I think when they play against top teams, this is more likely going to be the outcome, depending on when they play some of these teams. And now that they've played, 4 games, at least what's interesting about this matchup is, Botnia Bowl, there should be some get back later in the season. They should play this team again. And I think if the Royals I don't want to say make changes. No, I do want to say make changes. Make changes. I'm not saying get new players or anything. I'm saying make some strategical changes to what you're doing offensively. Because again, like you said, they couldn't run the ball. That was it. As soon as you start making Hopamaki throw, because even him at quarterback, I'd rather have him running. If anything, if they had a option-based offense, I think they would have done a little bit better. Or they at least had 1 or 2 less turnovers and the score is a little bit closer. And maybe you do get an extra punt or something instead of turn the ball back over to them. So, that would be the win or loss. Decent games, but let's get into this weekend. All right. Let's see. What games do I have here? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
gotta
only
have a
three.
run. Yeah, I think there's only 3. So it's got to be a Friday and Saturday games, right? I got the matchups. I can't remember the days of the games, but first game that I think is on Friday or is it Thursday? I don't know. Porvoo Butchers versus Helsinki Roosters. And then on Saturday is the 2 games. We got Kuopio Steelers and Tampa the Saints, followed by the Helsinki Wolverines and Seinäjoki Crocodiles. So we'll just talk about the games. We'll figure out the days later. You can look that up online. First game, Porvoo Butchers versus Helsinki Roosters. What's your storyline, question, interesting thing about it? Give me everything.
Um, this game at this point in the season, uh, will it mean something? I think not really to me.
Oh
I
wow.
don't think I don't
Okay.
think it really means anything, no matter who wins or loses. I think for the Butchers, I think they probably been waiting for this game, honestly, um, and just to kind of measure themselves as far as going in the rest of the season, because I know they feel like maybe they're better than a lot of the teams. But if you just look around the league, you say, okay, they have these guys at certain positions that can, I won't say match up, but it won't be as easy as it may have been against other teams. And
Mm.
this will be a real test for both teams, honestly. It'll be a real test for both teams. We'll actually get to see if the Butchers defensive line um, and linebacker core is strong or it is solid, because we've been seeing them dominate the lesser teams. But the Roosters are going to throw the ball. They're going to run the ball, so they're going to throw a lot of stuff at them, and it'll be nice to see what the Butchers do to kind of react to it. The Butchers offense, though, for the Roosters, I think defensive line play is going to be very important in this game. The Roosters defensive
Mm.
line has to get pressure. They have to get Aaron Bede on the run. Him in the pocket is dangerous. He can run too, but I'd rather him run than him to sit in the pocket and just bomb away, because he's been very accurate this year. I mean, Lucas Erla is every touchdown he's caught, nobody's been around him pretty much. So and then you got Robotop throwing touchdowns now. They got so many weapons, and not and Christian Powell, I mean, I don't think he's gonna have the easier runs like he's had. The
Mm.
Roosters have a stout linebacker core, defensive line. I don't think it's going to be an easy route for them in the running game. So that's what makes this game pretty interesting to me. It's just offensive line and defensive line play. I think skill wise, the Butchers are ahead on skill. And that's offense and defensive wise. I think they lead in skill, but at the same time, the Roosters know how to play up to their competition though. So they're not going to just lay down like the rest of these teams are doing against the Butchers. They're not going to do it. So this is going to be a real, I think, intense game. But I don't think it really matters at this point, because it's so much more football to play, and it's so much better both teams can get. But it will be a measuring stick to kind of look forward in the future, because you can say that the Saints, ECG, the Wolverines, they can make some changes and get some players in, but is it going to make them on the level of the Butchers or close to the Roosters? I don't think so. So we're kind of getting a premiere of what some people may think could be the championship. So and I don't want to just say that so early in the season, because a lot of stuff can happen. But at the same time, the Butchers strong. Offensively, they strong. You know what I mean? Defensively, they solid. Um, so the Roosters definitely have to come out. Ambrose is going to have a mistake-free game, because Mr. Wright back there is got another interception last game. Like, so you know what he's doing. So
Yep.
I
Yep.
think Roosters, you got to get the ball to Nunley early and often, and back Zach Wright them up, and open that defense up, so you can run the ball too. But if they make it one dimensional, then the Butchers might have their heads on it. So, yeah, that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. I'm gonna I'm gonna go all in. Like I said, go Butchers, baby. I think this is the game out, put their foot on the neck. I think it's I think I agree 100% with what you said that it's not that important of a game, but I still think that it's still going to be part of the legacy of this season. I don't think this is a season the Butchers, want to get to the championship. It's a season the Butchers should win the Maple
They're
Bowl.
expecting. Yeah, they're
It's
expecting to.
expected, and no matter what year it is, COVID season, 1928, 1998, you got to go through the Roosters. I don't care what anybody say before or after the season. You got to go through the Roosters. They are who you have to beat. So they need to beat them now. You're only going to play them once this year. And I think that the Butchers come out strong. I don't think they come out playing any games. You'll get a heavy dose of everybody. To say a little bit about what you were talking about with Aaron B-Day, I agree that you want him running, but I also think the Roosters definitely don't want him running free. I think it's hard. It's one of those situations where if I'm the Roosters, I'm doing more like delayed blitzes, or I'm showing which side I'm coming from early so that pre-snap read, I know where he's going and I corral him. Because
you got to blitz. You got to
blitz.
blitz.
You got to blitz, but you don't want to blitz where he can escape, and that's the hardest thing. Is his escapability is up there. That's going to be very tough for the Roosters to hold him down, to keep it. I don't want him sitting in the pocket. I don't want him comfortable, but I also don't want him running because he looked comfortable when he's running. I don't like that. Like,
you got to blitz. You got to
blitz
his throw inside. Blitz his throw inside and make him run to the left. And make him make them awkward throws to the left, because if you do the opposite and he has the option of running or passing on his right, he gonna hurt you all day. So you're right about that. You're definitely right about that.
Yeah, but I mean, outside of that, I don't have a lot to add to what you said. Like, two really good teams in my opinion. Butchers a little bit more talent than everybody else, but even in this game, the Roosters are going to find a way to compete. From the Rooster side, I do think that they're gonna use this more as a, like you said, measuring stick than a we have to win game. So they might even do a few things that, okay, this might not get us a win today, but now we have film on this look, or now we have film of in this situation what they do. I think this is that type of game. For the Butchers, I don't think they need to do that because I think they're the team to beat. They need to come out more emotional, like, hey, we're the best team, and prove that from the start of the game until the end of it. So it'll be an interesting matchup. Interesting aspect about this game is, the two most successful organizations in the Maple League going at it once again in Porvoo. Porvoo always has a really good home crowd, but I think that'll be negated on them playing on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
In July, a lot of people are on vacation now because it's July is like the vacation month here. So it's not a Saturday game; it's a Thursday in July. They're not going to have the same crowd that they normally have, which is, again, I think even people from Helsinki might not come. Like, there might not be as many travelers. Normally, when a game's in Porvoo, people from Helsinki just drive over. It's a 45-minute drive. So you'll see a lot of Roosters and Wolverine fans, ECG fans in the crowd. But I think this week you don't see as much. And I think that's one of those things that's going to make the game feel a little like, ugh. So that's why the Butchers have to come out strong, play hard. And I really think, if anything, this is a game you want to get a blowout. Because even if they blow out the Roosters won't take it as, oh, we suck. They'll take it as, okay, there were some things that we didn't do early, and then we kind of, chilled out. But for the Butchers, it's more of a, if it looks close, that's not a good sign for the Butchers. Because, like you said, we got a lot of football until, the playoffs. They need to look like everyone needs to catch up to them, not that anyone's close right now, especially off of what we think. So I think that's it on that game. Should be an interesting one, though. Next game we have, I I just looked at it, and Quopio Steelers versus Tampa the Saints. Storyline question, interesting thing about this one.
Um,
It's a weird
hmm.
matchup, right?
Yeah, definitely a weird matchup, but I think it's more one sided. I think Scorpio is just a better team right now. Um,
Hmm.
and just by not giving out predictions, but I believe Scorpio should handle this game pretty easily. If they
Hmm.
do what they did last week and rely on the running game and to open up the passing game, then it's going to be a long day for the Saints. Saints are not tackling well. Offensively, they just aren't consistent. So nothing special about this matchup. I mean,
Hmm.
I think it'll be more of Scorpio doing what they do on all sides of the ball because once they start scoring, it's just pretty much uh, it's gonna go downhill for the Saints. So let's see. Let's see if the Saints can come out with something different than what they've been showing and try to give people a better game and showing that, they got a little more pride in what we're seeing. But as far as matchups and interesting aspect, there isn't really one because I think Scorpio is just a better team right now.
Yeah, I ditto to everything you said. I'm gonna throw out one thing for key matchup though is that I believe the key matchup is going to be in the trenches. Not the Steelers, the Saints offensive line. They have to do better. It's unfair to their quarterback that I mean, obviously the run game is I think the run game is okay, but it's not good
Mhm.
enough for them to just run the ball.
Yeah.
They have to pass the ball, and that's where they're getting killed at is because one of your quarterback, he could be one of their better runners. But even from when they're passing the ball, he can't run because he's running for his life. It's not the same thing as he's like moving or they move in the pocket. They have to figure out a way to either one, I say get him on some more rollouts, do a
Quick
more
game.
down quick game.
Yeah.
Quick game is hard because again, I don't think their receivers are good enough to get open fast. That's the issue. Is if there's no
Mhm.
lanes and they can't get to it quickly, quick game doesn't work for you. I think it's another weird thing is all these teams using like a typical shotgun makes play action very difficult from there because you don't actually move the defense. If the running back's on my right, my my run my run my run stop defense is to the left. Like we already know where that person can run. And if someone pulls, I know where to field. Like there's not a lot you can do. But a lot of these teams, when they do play action from the shotgun, it's more like fake zone. There's no lineman moving. So we already know where it's going. So they got to figure out a way to, I would say, either in like a pistol situation where you can actually force the defense to react to
Yeah.
the running back to the right or the left. Because if he's
Yeah.
behind me, you don't know. So you don't know where your run fits are yet. So they have to like react, and that gives you just enough time to have windows in the pass game. If my
Mhm.
quarterback goes here and then throws here, everybody shifted, there's a window. Something like that. Again, I don't get too much into the X and O's, but I think their offensive line has to either block better or find better ways to create time and space for the offense to run. Because right now, we don't know how good the Saints skill players are because we don't get to see them in anything that makes sense. We only see them making sporadic plays here and there based off of what the defense allows them because they don't dictate anything up front. Everything is dictated to them. They only can do what they're reacting instead of being offensive, they're being defensive on offense. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. You're right though, not much interesting things going on. We'll go to the next game. All right, last game of the weekend. Helsinki Wolverines versus Seinäjoki Crocodiles. You got a storyline or question for this one?
Woo. Man, it's same as the last game. Honestly, I mean, the Wolverines are just going right now in the wrong direction. They're going in the wrong direction. They have to really, like you said, is this what you're going to give? Is this what you're going to give your organization? This is what you're going to give your fans. We know they're not going to make no changes as far as personnel. So
Mm-hmm.
what they got is what they got. The Crocs, on the other hand, they got something to prove. They have something to prove.
I, I
They
feel
lost.
like I feel like our preseason rankings were like the villain origin story for the Crocodiles.
Yeah,
I feel like every week they doing just a little bit to let us know that we was wrong about
yeah,
saying that they
yeah,
wouldn't be able to respond as an organization. And this
yeah,
game might be even more to that point. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah. No, you're right. I mean, it is what it is. Defensively, the Wolverines gonna be real hard for them to do anything. Charles O'Connell over there, like Coleman, it's gonna be hard for them to do anything offensively.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Almost like unfair
Yeah.
in a way. So the Wolverines either got to commit to throwing nothing but deep balls and fades to get the ball out the quarterback's hands. They're gonna have to run. They're gonna have to do something different than what they've been doing because the Crocs we know can run the ball. You know they can pass pretty decent. They got some guys to throw it to. Um, but right now, I think the Crocs are trying to get wins. You know what I mean? They're
Mm-hmm.
trying to get the wins that they're supposed to get, and that's what you're supposed to do. You want to get the wins you're supposed to have, and if you can steal one from, you know, one of and now I think from what I see of the Crocs, I do think they're in that they have a type of team that could be number three, number four
Yeah.
coming into the playoffs. So now it's just sharpening the iron, sharpening offensively, improving. That's where they need. That's where they're going to win the playoffs at is offense. Defense, I think they can play against you know majority of the teams. I think the Crocs can
Yeah.
line up against. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
defensively,
So
they're set.
yeah.
It's always
So
good to have Charles O'Connell on your team.
yeah,
It always
yeah,
puts you in the mix.
yeah. So this game, I expect the Crocs to win. I'm not afraid to say that now, but the Wolverines have to come out with something different than what they've been showing.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing I'm gonna say is that only thing we really want to see in this game, like we'll just keep it a buck. The only thing we want to see is the Wolverines show effort and fight. That you don't have to do anything outside of that in this game for anybody to respect you. And that's really what you're playing for is respect that hey, we are still a Maple League team. We deserve to be here. Go out there and play some damn football. Don't play like you don't deserve to be there. They go out there and do that. We're not gonna hold it against them. Like we're not gonna sit here and rag on a team that you're outmatched, but you still got to play football, and that's really all we're expecting from them in this game is that they play football. And like you said, with the Crocodiles, they just keep racking up wins, and this is another win that they need to have, especially if they want to be one of those top four teams at the end of the season. All right, I think that's it. All right, that's it for this episode of American Football in Finland. Any last words before we get out of here, Q?
No, I ain't got nothing, man. I ain't got nothing, man. We chugging along. We chugging along.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
lot of the guys, those one sticker, two sticker guys that are turning. You know, I want more than anything. I like to see guys get better. You know what I mean? Especially of the locals. I like to see them making plays. I didn't mention Tormanev, so we was talking about the Wolverines. I didn't mention him,
yeah,
but
Matthias, yeah.
he was back in offense making plays for the Wolverines. Like so it's like certain people that you just want to see, you know what I'm saying, make plays and they're right there sometimes and or it's too late but they're still trying to give what they can for their team, and that's what I want to see, man. I want to see guys go out there and really give some effort and really try to make some plays, and even if your team isn't that great, at least stand out and show that like, hey, there are some people on our team that care. There are some people on our team that really want to win, but maybe it's just going to take a little longer to build or put it together. But either way, I like what I'm seeing. Obviously, blowouts ain't fun, but it's still football. It's still nice to watch, and it's a lot of football to play. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to add to what Q is saying is it's more enjoyable for us when we can watch these games and understand that people are trying to win, that you're putting your best effort out there than anything. And anybody that's out here watching or listening to like us about what's going on out here, remember that you guys got to play the games. Like, no matter what we say, what we think, what we actually can prove or not prove, the games are played on the field. So we don't influence who actually can win these games. And you've seen from our picks this season, it's been crazy. Like, some teams have really surprised us. But again, it's up to those teams to play on the field. So really just hope that some of you guys, that we know there's a lot of like players that kind of listen to this podcast and stuff, really hope that you understand that we're here to give you our insights and our opinions, obviously, but anything can happen when you step on that field. So we don't want anybody going on there thinking, oh, well, they don't think we can win, so maybe we can't, or that's our motivation. No, you guys have coaches, you have teammates, you game plan during the week, you know what the other team is doing, you got film study. Use that and play that game. Don't ever go into these games thinking that something that we said is going to change how you guys play out there on that field. That's just I had to get that off my chest because I felt like I've been getting a lot of comments from people, and it's like, you might be taking what I'm saying too seriously, guys. Like, you guys are playing it. Only you can decide who's going to win these games on the field, and we're just here to feed that back to everyone else. And I think that's it for us. Good luck to everybody this upcoming weekend, and we'll be right here back on the podcast next week. Make sure to subscribe, follow, like, and share on all social channels at American Football in Finland. Until next time, never forget
T
I
F.
We gone.
We go.
Still don't have